Hey everybody, welcome back to the Historian's Wardrobe YouTube channel. I'm Mariana. So I have been working on an 18th century ladies French gown, and the pattern comes from the ladies at American Duchess. So I have been following the directions, I hope well enough.
You had a plenty money, 1922. You let other women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money. Get out, get out, get out, get out, and get out of here, get me too right. Get out, me, you sitting me too, you sitting me, get me, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, and get out, get me too right. Get out of here and get me some money too. Get out, get out, get out, get out, and get out, get me too right. Get out, me, you sitting me too, you sitting me some money. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, and get out, get me too right. Get out, me, you sitting me too, you sitting me. Get out of here and get me some money too. You're sitting down wondering what it's all about. You ain't got no money, they will.
In regards to pleating is when I'm pleating something that I don't have a pattern for and can easily follow along with what they're trying to get me to do. Usually I'm going to my husband and being like, hey, I need your math brain. How can I make this fit into this many inches? Yeah. So that is what I'm usually doing when I'm doing my own pattern. So when I have to follow other patterns, pleating, I get a little stressed out. I think I followed the directions pretty well for the pleats on the front part, or the back sides, and where the pocket opening is. And y'all, when I started doing historic fashion and living history stuff, I didn't realize at the time, because it was pre lots of research, I didn't realize the ladies had pockets for every outfit. It was just, they built their dress around their pocket, so they always had a pocket, which is basically kind of like a fanny pack that doesn't stick out and it goes under your clothes. So they always had openings because their waistbands of their dresses, they didn't have zippers, they didn't have snaps. It was hook and eyes, basically, or drawstring closures. So during the 18th century, it was two different strings, or two different ties. So you have one tie to tie the back around your waist, and then the other to go around. So this is a French gown. So the silhouette of the hips, was a French style. It was brought into style by the French before this period that this dress is from, which would be around 1770s in France. It did carry over into the colonies. There were women dressed in this style, but not as often because it wasn't as it didn't fit as much with the culture in the colonies, say, as it did for a lady in Paris. Okay, so their dresses were a lot different. They had less access to materials, less access to gowns and stuff to make gowns in the colonies comparatively. So usually you see a little bit more extravagance in dresses that were made in Europe. So we have as I was going through and sewing all the pieces together, I did all of the seams, and then I used my pinking shears. I used my pinking shears and I cut all of the seam, like the seam allowance. I trimmed it down and then pressed it so that it all kind of is much smoother. So I just line it up on my pattern and just mark the pleats because it's easier that way. And then once I finish marking all the pleats, I will just go ahead and take a hand stitch in, and I will stitch through each pleat to make sure it's all, you know, secured, I guess. Alright, and then I'm just gonna secure my pleats further down just to make sure that they are laying the way that I want them to, and when I put it on the dress form to see it all together. Okay, so I pleated the two sides. Woo! Alright. So, fabric! Ugh. Okay. Oh, no, I did something wrong here. So on both sides, I pleated both back sides of the dress, the front part, and then I'm just going to pleat this middle section. So this middle section has some really complicated pleats. This is the back of the dress, and it kind of looks a little bit like a train draping down the back. So I'm going to pleat that really quick. Okay, each of these sections are 5 inches, and this is half inch, half inch, half inch. And then this is 2.5, and this is 2.5. I already measured it all out, so I would know. And so I'm going to pay attention to which direction the pleats are going, because obviously these two go in different directions. So we want to make sure that we get the pleats going in the correct direction. Okay. And I want to make sure that I get my lengths correct, so I'm going to mark where the pleats are going to meet the other side. Woo doggies! I'll be honest, pleats intimidate me. They really, really do. Yeah. I don't know why. They look really good though. Alright, let's get these other pleats a rolling. Okay, so I am putting it on the dress form. I have my bum roll on it that I made last week, just to kind of help hold the dress out like it's going to be held out. Voila! The pleats are hiding the seams really well, so I'm excited about it. So I have pleated the dress, and I'm going to be doing some other things before I get the bodice attached to it and complete that part, because I want to make sure that I get the fit perfect. I think it's going to be a wonderful project when it's completed. I am so excited to continue on with more projects in the future. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you next time.